Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I made a video and I think it's time I do one. We have a new year. Things are changing a little bit and well, let's have a look at Bitcoin and see where we are and where we might be heading from here on. Uh, the new year, I'm looking at the daily chart here by the way. The new year started quite extraordinary, I would say, from a technical perspective, because we had the first day of the year, January 1st. Price opened up lower than this candle here the day before, 31st, and went all the way up here to the new yearly pivot point, which is at 47,865 approximately. So it tested it. That's good. And it tested the SMA 200, the white line here, from below. So we had a double test there, and it closed just below the pivot point here, the yearly pivot point. So we didn't get a break above. This was actually pivotal, and up here we also have the monthly pivot point, the new one for January. So it was left untested. So we got a open lower here. We got a little gap down, and then we came up and tested the pivot. The SMA 200 once more, just to close below the opening here, and then price started to slide like this. So once price closed below this engulfing candle here, which was sort of a bullish um, candlestick pattern if you use them. So the bias here was on the bullish side just because of this bullish engulfing candlestick pattern here. Now you got a close below here on the 4th. So the story continues. So the people who actually played this pattern here, they were stopped out. They had the stop below the wick here, probably. They were stopped out. Yeah, so I think this is a technical plummet we see here. There's sell pressure here because price failed to push above these levels here. Price needed to push above here, close above this. It failed. So there's a lack of momentum right now, and I would suspect it's also connected to what's going on in stock markets and what's FOMC is going to do and inflation, all these things that matters, because these days the big money are in Bitcoin too, and Bitcoin is treated like any other risk assets. Like stocks or so. The big money just doesn't make any difference between Bitcoin and stocks. So I think that's a big part of this increasing connection between stock market and Bitcoin and the crypto market too. Not all cryptos, I'd say, but many. So something is going on there, and you can see price now plummeting, cutting below this 45,000 level, which is support level from August 21, September 21, and December also, 17th December we have that. So is this a catastrophic event? Are we just going to drop now to 30k or below? Or is it perhaps some sort of trap here for the the bears? Well, that remains to be seen. You can see the drop here is 11.6 11.6% from this test of the SMA 200 here down to the low wick. So it's a substantial drop, one has to say, even for Bitcoin during just a few days here. So it's looking heavy here. It does look heavy for sure, but isn't there anything that points the other direction? Where's the trap? If it's so clear cut, why isn't it just keep dropping? Well, what we have here is interesting because we have the MACD, and we can see here we have the MACD coming, the price dipping below, and then we have this wave of downward pressure here, creates this low. Price doesn't keep going down, so we have a bullish cross here on the MACD. Come up, we test the Kijun-sen here. It's the white line. It's an equilibrium line on the Ichimoku system, which I use. It's a good intermediate indicator here, supportive indicator, let's say. And now we have another bearish cross coming in here on the 4th of January. So what could happen here is that we see prices sort of hesitating here. So one scenario could be that price starts to go sideways here a little bit, and then we have a little bounce up. Then we might get this new cross here somewhere like that. Could I use a pen here, by the way? No free pen. Okay, but basically something like that, and then we get a cross and we get a bounce up. So that would mean that we will have some sort of bullish divergence here, which is very important for me in my analysis. Always bullish pressure here, bullish divergence coming in. Could be, looks like that. If you look at the blue line here, price comparison to the previous cross, and now we see the discrepancy here between these two things. Is for price to actually cut below this level here, down here on the MACD, it would really need to plummet. So we will need to see price coming down towards, I'd say, maybe 35,000 or somewhere, 37 perhaps. These levels for the MACD to really cut below here and then negate this sort of pressure here. So it remains to be seen, but I'm a little bit doubtful that it will happen. Now for the bears, of course, they are smelling blood, I think, because if we look at the weekly charts, something rather rare has happened using the Ichimoku system. We have the cloud here, and we have this candle here. This is an interesting candle. We're right in it now. Today it's Thursday, so we have a few days left on the week, but this is a weekly candle, weekly chart. You can see price is entering the cloud. It's quite a significant event for Bitcoin. And a little bit worrisome for people that still think we're in a corrective phase in a bull trend. So we have to be aware of this situation here and look at the weekly close. We have to keep an eye on that, and either we get a wick here, it's being eaten up here, and we get a close above the cloud. it would be sort of bullish, sort of a stop grabber or something here, we would probably keep having a little reversal here, I think. But if we close inside, and specifically if we close below this low here at let's see, 43,423, it's likely that we will actually keep going down here. And then we, of course, we have these levels here with a massive support around 36, 30, yeah, let's say 37,000. That would be a massive support zone here for the cloud, because the cloud is still bullish. Still, the green line is above the red, so we have this bullish cloud here. It's still bullish, and anything below here will be bought heavily because it will be oversold. So we will get a bounce here, at least in the first instance. We don't have any cross here. At this point, it's when we have a bearish cross on the cloud here, project the cloud here on the weekly, I think that's when we can safely say that we're probably going into the bear market up to the next halving, 2024, what is it, 2025, 24. So I don't think that will be very easy to deal with for the bulls. But yeah, we're not there. We haven't yet seen this close, so trend is still bullish, actually, on the weekly chart, until we get this close inside the cloud, if we get it. So that will change the trend on the weekly charts till neutral. So we don't have even have a bearish trend if we close inside the cloud. We'll just have a neutral trend. So we're waiting for that. So yeah, things are starting to change a little bit, I think, but we could be in for another trap here. So things can change quickly in crypto land, and often do. And I think that's might be what we will be seeing this time too, because there is some lack of conviction in this drop here, and yeah, I think it's possible that we see it. I don't know. It's hard to say whether we will see it. I mean, but I was going to. Sorry for being a little bit. I wanted to show the previous time we had this bullish divergence happened here. And I actually bought here because it was such a massive bullish divergence, and then we had this breakout of this downward sloping trend line. We have a close inside the cloud. I got myself some Bitcoin here and some other stuff, but yeah. So what we had the first drop, similar to what we had here currently, and then we had another attempt, a lower low actually, but we had this higher high here on the MACD, and then we had another attempt, but we didn't get down even to the first low, and then we had the cross. So we had this bullish divergence all the way, it's like three spikes. It's very common actually with three spikes. First we have the lower low and the higher low on the MACD, and then we have this second wave after the first drop, and we get the cross, and then we get the bounce and the rally, sort of. So let's see if we get the same scenario once more. So we have this situation, and then price will go up, and then we have another attempt. We will sort of stall here, and then we'll have even a higher low here on the MACD, and then attempting to shift trend on the daily, because the trend is bearish on the daily. Trading below the cloud. The cloud is projected cloud is also bearish, and there is no real sign for a crossing here yet, so we're waiting for that too. What is bullish though is the slope of the SMA 200, which sort of reflects all this spike up here towards the new all-time high, still reflected in the SMA 200. So we're actually just looking at the SMA 200. I mean, we're in oversold territory right now. I think it would surprise me if we don't get the bounce from here somewhere at these levels. I'm not sure if we're really going down to 40,000 this low here, S1, but if so, well, that would definitely be some sort of bounce zone. But yeah, it's a little bit unclear right now, and also whether we will actually have a lower low on the MACD on the daily here. It will also be important, of course. So that was my short take here on Bitcoin price, and I hope it cleared some question marks for someone, and hopefully I can get back and follow up and see what happens, if it will be a bounce corrective phase here, or this will be the start of a bear market. We'll see after this week, I would say. It will become a little bit more clear, though, if we're heading towards a bear market, or this is sort of a bear trap we're seeing right now. Okay, thanks for watching.